This crop is a monoculture containing only one type of plant. It looks great to food producers and gives us food we need, but we pay a huge price for this. This area is a human-managed environment. The crop that grows here is just meant for humans. It provides food or shelter for a few different life forms, but little else can live here. Humans must enrich the soil using fuel and chemicals to do so. Chemicals are also sprayed to control weeds and organisms that would eat the crop. This is expensive and can damage all of the surrounding land, water, air, even us. By making a few changes, like planting trees, creating shelter belts, and planting a variety of crops, this area can become healthier and more attractive for the soil and many different life forms, even for the crops and us. Monocultures can become biodiverse. This wetland ecosystem is a place where much life exists. Hundreds of different plants and animals live and use this area, along with thousands of insects and invertebrates and billions of microorganisms. All of these interact and rely on each other to provide a habitat that is self-sustaining, meaning it can last for thousands of years all on its own. We call an area like this bio, which means life, diverse, which means many different kinds. Biodiversity includes the variety of life around us and over the earth itself. All living things depend on each other. If one thing disappears, something else will suffer. Scientists have identified that more than 1.4 million living species or different types of organism. Tens of millions are still undiscovered. The tremendous variety of life on Earth is made possible by complex interactions between all living things, including living things we can only see with a microscope. 3 factors determine biodiversity. The first factor is genetic diversity. An animal, like a horse, can have many different colors, sizes, and uses. These differences are due to different genes, which form a variety of animals of the same type or species. The following horses are all one species, but they have different genes which cause them to look, behave, and perform differently. This is what is known as genetic diversity. The second factor is species diversity. Bass, brook trout, and greenside darter are all fish. They look and survive differently because they are different types or species of fish. Ecosystem diversity is the third factor. Rainforests, deserts, and marshes are different ecosystems. Each ecosystem contains a variety of life forms or species that are adapted to survive within it. These species depend on each other for their survival. By now you know that too much of one thing is never a good thing. We gain a lot by having a variety of species, genes, and ecosystems on our planet. From a diversity of plants, we get the following. From a diversity of animals, we get many types of the following. Many species in North America have become extinct. They no longer exist. There was a huge biodiversity here that no longer exists. Their names are all that is left of them. What caused this change? In North America, the First Nations people coexisted with the surrounding environment. The natural world was held sacred and balance was recognized in everything. The people managed the lands and waters and worked alongside nature, treating it with respect and responsibility. All was part of a circle of life. The people and the environment would remain strong and healthy if the balance was kept. New people arrived, bringing new attitudes along with them. The new people thought of nature as a challenge to overcome. They wanted to change ecosystems so they could benefit quickly from them. Forests were cut down to become buildings and ships. Swamps and marshes were drained to provide rich soils for agriculture. Land was torn up for minerals which only provided short-term wealth. Fish and game were taken in large numbers. Many animals and plants disappeared and were replaced with ones not meant to live on this continent. Not only did the North American plants and animals suffer, the First Nation peoples suffered from diseases brought over with the new arrivals. The organisms that depended on the forests, streams, wetlands, and other diverse ecosystems lost their habitat and disappeared. The circle had been broken. The balance was lost. Not only has change occurred in North America, it has happened all over the world. The Earth is in trouble and needs our help. What can we do to change our modern attitude towards the Earth? How can we return to seeing the Earth as something we are part of? A balance is maintained when the interdependence of all things is recognized and respected. Many First Nations use the medicine wheel to represent the relationship of all things to Mother Earth. The wheel is round to represent the circle of life. The cross in the center represents how all things in the natural world try to remain in balance and how they exist in fours. This includes the four directions, the four seasons, and the four essentials, which are wind, water, fire, and earth. How can this medicine wheel help biodiversity? For the Anishinaabe culture, each color on the wheel represents a direction, a season, a stage of life, a medicine, and a guardian animal. The circle of life runs clockwise through the seasons and stages of life. The medicine wheel reminds us that the earth provides all we need for life: air, food, water, shelter, clothing, and all medicines. If we take more from the earth than can be replenished, we upset the balance and all will suffer. By remembering the medicine wheel and what it stands for, we can recognize what is important and how we are all part of the circle of life. We do things that can help or upset the balance. It's up to us to help or harm the planet. It's up to us to help or maintain the biodiversity on Earth.
must have stopped our car 24 times to climb out and gather into his hands the small toads, blinded by our lights and leaping, live drops of rain. The rain was falling, a mist about his white hair, and I kept saying, "You can't save them all. Accept it. Get back in. We've got places to go." But leathery hands full of wet brown life, knee-deep in the summer roadside grass, he just smiled and said, "They have places to go to, too."